We interrupt this program to bring you an important announcement. Warning, some viewers may find the following footage deeply disturbing. Hazardous substance. Viewer discretion is advised. Let the games begin!
This is Jesper the Clown,
a.k.a. Joe Benner.
and you're listening to Slashers Podcast.
Okay, I'm recording, Lance. No more slurs. Hey.
Whoa. I don't say that.
Okay. Welcome back, everybody, to A Novel January. It is me, Mikey, host of Slashers Podcast, with my lovely co-host Aid and Lance, and we have a very special guest today, and that is Brandon Perras Sanchez, author and filmmaker and horror connoisseur. Everyone, say hello.
Hello. Thank you for having me on.
Hello, hello.
Hello, goons.
Yes. So as you guys have been listening, we've been having an author on the beginning of the episodes just to kind of celebrate the horror literary scene, but also a double whammy because Brandon also is a filmmaker and writer and does all the things. Before we begin, I just want to shout out your website, bpshorror.com, I believe, right?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. So bpshorror.com, go to it. Like, it reminds me of your aesthetic is very much like everything that I love about like early 2000s horror. It's like campy, disturbing, but fun, and not like that's not like your content, but just the way that your website looks. And you know, when I purchase your book, sometimes I get a tooth in the mail, which I still don't know if it's real or not. But
I like your voice there. You murder people and you slowly put their bodies out to use them as gifts.
we'll see. I don't know if mailing body parts is legal or not, so we won't confirm nor deny if that happened. But yes, Brandon, welcome. Very excited to have you. This episode is actually because of you, because I asked Brandon, because we were all trying to figure out what to do next for a movie based on a book. And what did you recommend, Brandon?
Oh God, what did I recommend?
Okay, never mind.
Slugs. I recommend Slugs.
Yes, Slugs.
I didn't know Slugs was based on a book until it's a long, crazy story how I ended up with that book. But I ended up with a giant trash bag full of horror novels, and one of them was Slugs, and it was the same cover as the VHS I have. So I didn't know this was a book prior to that, but yeah, it's a fun movie too if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, we're actually doing it this episode.
Oh, nice.
I actually read the book prior to this
Oh,
episode.
shit.
So I'll be very it's a real short comparison. It's exactly the same. But Brandon, when you introduce yourself to people or when you talk about yourself, what do you usually go to first, filmmaker or writer?
I mean, it kind of depends who's asking. The two worlds are so vastly different. You think they could kind of be like the same energy, but they're not. The writing world is it's a lot more wild, a lot more drama. So yeah, the movie world's a little bit different. It's there's less of us, I guess. There's less like filmmaker, like DIY micro budget filmmakers out there. I mean, there's a good chunk of us, but not as many like as there are horror writers. There's a ton. It just kind of depends, I guess, who's asking.
Nice.
Yes, and that also we touched on it briefly before I pressed record, and I was like, wait, we're gonna talk about it on the show. So the reason that we actually are all connected, I don't know if everybody knows, is Aid and I don't know if it was Pride or we did this episode where we reviewed Death Drop Gorgeous, and that is made by the company that you work with, Monster Makeup Effects, I believe, correct?
Just Monster Makeup.
Monster Makeup.
Yeah, I wish we did effects.
Was it effects or did I just add that in there?
I think Monster Makeup LLC is kind of the name. Yeah.
Maybe that.
It's
But it's a collection of you fine gentlemen up in the Northeast who, make content. And so we watched Death Drop Gorgeous, and I remember we were reviewing it, and I was like, I don't remember if this was your name in the movie or not, but I was like, this Freddy Five Fingers guy can get it. And so we agreed. And so afterwards, I added all of y'all on either Twitter or I think it was Twitter. And then y'all followed back. And then you have always just been such a beneficial, positive light in the horror genre when it comes to acting or filmmaking, because you're always like, if anybody has any questions, let me know. And you're one of the few people that actually like responds back when people comment and stuff, and not just like to me, but to anybody. So you've always been so positive and so great. And as you guys transitioned and started making another film called Saint Drogo, which I believe just became available for purchase.
Yeah, just on Blu-ray right now. We're still trying to figure out the streaming fiasco.
Yeah. So, and that looks amazing. I haven't been able to see it yet, but it's completely different tone than
Yeah.
Death Drop Gorgeous. Yeah, I just have to make sure I don't say, wait, Death Drop Gorgeous. Yes. Sorry, I always have to make sure that I don't say Drop Dead Gorgeous. But it looks completely different tone. Then you worked with people that I know, like Joe Castro and stuff. So that even kind of like made us even less of a, what is it? Degrees of separation. So now we're here where you are on the show. We're very happy to have you. I did want to ask though, because you did, I wouldn't say transition because you're doing both, but you did start writing. And the very first novel you wrote, Lance and I actually did a commercial for. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's the first novel.
Yeah.
And that was, fuck. Hang on.
White Bishop.
Yeah, White Bishop.
Yes, we're going to cover that up. And that was White Bishop. I was trying so hard to remember to break a pale yoke because I was like, I'm going to mess that title up. Completely forgot the first one. But White Bishop, yes. So what brought upon that decision to start writing, and where did that story come from?
Sure. So I started off writing just short stories in high school, then throughout like college and stuff too, and then started getting the screenwriting. So while we were filming like Death Drop Gorgeous and Saint Drogo, I was like doing some little screenplays on my own. And I'm friends with Aaron Borgard, who's another horror author. He lives down in Rhode Island as well. And he mentioned one day, he's like, instead of keeping all these screenplays in your laptop, you might as well try to make some money off of them or novelize them or something. It's really, really hard to sell a screenplay and get a screenplay made. It's near impossible. You gotta have the right people, or it's a crazy process. So Aaron helped me novelize White Bishop, and then he taught me the ins and outs of self-publishing and where your hardcovers from, where your paperbacks from, and dealing with like audiobooks and all that kind of fun stuff. And then I just took everything he taught me from there and just applied it to like my next two novels. So Recessive Nature, the second one, is also a screenplay that I wrote. And so Break a Pale Yoke is just my first non-screenplay adaptation.
Do you think because I always thought about that because it's I feel like if you have a successful book, it's the best way to go, because if you get a successful book, you could actually get that to go to TV or movie. So you almost make twice over for the same story.
Yeah, that's one thing Aaron had mentioned too, that you have a better chance of getting your novella or novel made into a film over like a screenplay.
Yeah, because it seems crazy. I mean, is there any thing you've written that you really wanted to get into like a TV series or like more of a movie? Yeah,
any of those three, they're also vastly different. They'll take place in different time periods, but they'd all be really fun to shoot. There's a lot of monsters and mayhem. I really love dark fantasy. I'm a huge Clive Barker fan, so I just love the idea of just having no limits and just if you want to create any monsters and weird magic or creatures, whatever the fuck you want, you can. So all three of those have all that. So it'd be interesting to see what we could do with all three. I'd love to do get Jim Henson on Recessive Nature, but unfortunately that obviously. But
yeah, I mean, Nightbreed. That by itself is one of my favorites.
Oh, it's so good. I love that.
Yeah, and I can kind of see that, especially with White Bishop, that dark fantasy. And I remember when I was reading it, there was a character that I was like, if you ever make this into a movie and I don't get asked to play this character, I will be very upset.
I think I have no idea which character it was, but which character was it?
It was the big brawny gay one. I forgot what his name was.
We actually looked into trying to film White Bishop. There's some tall ships in Boston, but I mean, this book is pretty gory. I'm like, can we get fake blood all over this ancient boat?
Apologize later.
Yeah.
Just repaint him. I'm just kidding. Well, when it comes to writing your three novels, what has been the biggest hurdle that you've really struggled to get over?
Honestly, the self-promotion, I think that's just the absolute fucking worst. Especially with film as well too. We're in this this playground now where Amazon is just kind of dominating everything. And before, it was so much easier to have people have access to your movie or your book, and now it's just so restrictive. They're just trying to sell you their slop and pushing everyone else aside. So I think, you really got to do like the groundwork. You got to do your TikToks, which are my arch enemy. I fucking hate doing them, but you really have to do them. Like every time I do a TikTok, I sell books. So it's like a necessary evil. But like, you got to keep up with like just your all the fucking social medias. It sucks, but yeah, it's part of the job, I guess.
And your TikToks are fun. Your TikToks are really fun. They're funny. They're like not just, hi, my name is Brandon and I wrote this book. Like you have some weird, like sometimes I'm gonna make a what is it? A
Wellness check.
the wellness check like on either you or your partner. But if you guys want to follow him on TikTok, is it BPS Horror on TikTok also?
Yeah.
Yeah, follow him on TikTok. And this is one of the reasons why I'm a huge fan of just like not your stuff, but also just like your online presence, because it is so wacky and it is like you can tell you love horror. Like some people, I will shit on the horror Facebook horror authors group that I hate being a part of, but I feel like it's a necessary evil.
Yeah.
There's like a boys club in that or excuse me, because there are some women. Are there? No, I don't even think there's any women. It's like one of those like popularity contests, and I'm like, they always want to recommend these books to read. I'm like, that book sucked. But I do see you getting such a larger audience, and I do think it's well deserved.
Oh, thank you. I think it's about just being true to yourself and sticking to your guns too. I just see like won't mention names of the boys club, but it just seems like a bunch of recycled ideas and just similar book covers. And it's like, like when you're going record shopping, it's like you look for interesting album covers or interesting book artwork. And it's like when it's like scary girl in a nightgown and long hair over her face, it's like, are we still doing this in 2026 at this point? Like, I don't know. I think we can do better.
Like what was that movie we just saw with the one with the ladies outside of the house? What is that one?
Oh, Lady in Black?
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw that. I'm like, as soon as you just said that, I was like,
I just saw a trailer for another movie called it's like Whistle or something. But like those like the South American death whistles.
Oh yeah.
Like, scary girls with long hair doing like the cricky neck shit and like the jerky movies. I'm like, man, we're still doing this stuff. Like, come on. Like there's just so many amazing stories and books and stuff out there. Like even like Clive Barker's catalog, there's just so much great stuff in there. It's like, why aren't we like turning any of these into movies? Like, I don't know, especially like his fantasy stuff, I think would kill it. But apparently they're I forgot her name, the woman that directed The Babadook is doing The Thief of Always apparently, but I haven't seen an update in a year, so I don't know if that's still happening, but I hope it is. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
We saw that one, didn't we? Yeah. The Babadook one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a really good one though. It was movie-wise. I don't do too many readings of like how they do. I'm more of a comic book kind of / graphic novel guy. But like I collect a lot of Clive's stuff and a lot of Dark Horse stuff. So like, I mean, I'm like kind of in that area, but as A likes to call me and Mikey, I like pictures.
But even those comic books that Clive's done would be great movies too. So it's odd to me that like it's like a whole untapped resource of just amazing stuff from the last like century that just kind of just sitting there and no one's doing anything with it. Instead, we're just making like boring ass jump scares with nightgown ghosts. It's just like, I don't know.
Have you seen things that you're into? Is comics?
I haven't read them in a long time. I've seen them though. There's a web.
Like you personally, like, would you like to go into that kind of realm?
Oh, comic book realm. If I could find someone to draw for men, I can't draw for shit. But
but no. Speaking of illustrations and covers, do you use the same artist for all your covers?
No. So one thing I have to do is again like this whole like AI takeover is driving me fucking crazy. Like there's just a ton of talented artists and graphic designers out there, and it's kind of fun to like to cross network and like bring in different audiences. And I just love like working with different artists, and I'm going to keep doing that too. Like if I do a hardcover and a paperback, it's going to be two different artists, and there's not really an excuse for people to use AI because these artists aren't that expensive. I still don't understand like why we're doing this. Like I've gotten some artists that I'm like, oh God, this is going to be really expensive. Like, for instance, like Kim Jacobson did the White Bishop cover. He's an extremely talented artist. And I thought he was going to charge me an arm and a leg, and it really wasn't bad. So if you ask around and just, let them know what your budget is, you can get some really great shit great artwork for your stuff without having to sell your soul.
Have you denied anybody because you thought there was AI? Like, have you has that come up yet, I guess?
I haven't. There's some instances of AI that I think is in film that people kind of went overboard with, but I do feel for something like a book cover, it's like there's enough awesome artists out there. You don't have to do that.
Yeah.
I think we forget that even like editing software, and it does have AI quality to it too. Even if you're not like generating images or whatever, you're still utilizing it for certain things. So it's kind of a necessary evil if you're using it in a way where it's like you're not creating content with it. It's more so a tool that you're like editing your stuff with, or
Yeah.
I think it's doable, especially like in the filmmaking world too. As like a micro budget filmmaker, there's some programs out there that like if you were going to do that yourself, you'd be paying thousands of dollars. And again, it's not creating content for you. It's just like helping you with editing or sound editing. Like, if there's an air conditioner coming on while you're filming, and it's like sometimes it's hard to edit that shit out, and like it can cost a lot of money to do it. Like we have the money to pay someone to do what we will, but a lot of times that can be like up in the thousands if to go through a whole movie. Like that. We can't afford that. Like our movies, we don't have the money to do it. A lot of money goes to special effects.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I think AI definitely has its place to kind of like help you like a tool, but when you're using it for like your whole creative process, like there's people that write books through AI, and
Yeah,
that sounds terrible. But
the New York Times bestseller, her editor or publisher left in that prompt. You said read the article
no,
in her book as a bestseller. There's an AI prompt in there, so I don't know if her like publisher or editors fucking hated her, but like yeah, like it's like a top 20 list. She's making all this money off of it. It's just ridiculous. It's like what?
yeah, and I think we're getting also to a point where AI's been around for a little bit, and we're starting to realize, no, that's an AI image, like the one that George R. R. Martin had in his book, the illustrations. When it's like, because if you type in AI, like make me a picture of like a king and queen eating a grape or whatever, it'll look like when it first came out, it's like, oh, that's actually really cool. And but like
Yeah,
now you're like, oh, I can tell AI did that. That's a computer's version of creativity. Lance kind of stole my question, but whatever. Lance ruined a bunch of stuff. I was gonna say, if you were given like a $5 million budget and they said pick one of your movies to make one of your novels to make into a movie, which one would you pick?
oh man, that's a tough one. I would have sense of nature. Like I think the White Bishop and Tobruk Pilioki probably couldn't. I mean, they'd probably like NC-17. I don't know if I would get away with those two, but like Recessive Nature probably could work.
Well, that's fun. Who would you want to direct it?
Oh man, that's a really good question. I mean, I'm a huge was a huge Guillermo del Toro fan. He's kind of losing me, but like I think he would be a great director. He just handles horror fantasy so well.
Yeah.
I kind of wish he'd step away from this Universal monster shit. It's getting kind of tiring. But I still love the guy. I think he's great.
Did he do more than Frankenstein? I forgot.
Yeah, the Shape of Water was supposed to be his creature from the Black Lagoon reimagining. Yeah, I just want to get back into like Devil's Backbone, like Chronos Serena, but I did enjoy that Cabinet of Curiosities thing he organized. I think that was really good. That was on Netflix. I thought a little stuff was fun.
Yeah, for sure. And I already know you would star me, so we don't have to ask that question. But uh, so also I wanted to make sure we touched on, I believe from what I've been seeing, your newest project for film is Queen of the Rats, correct?
Yeah.
Tell us what that's about.
Sure. So that's kind of going back to like the Death Trap Gorgeous Arena. It's not as like dark and dreary and bleak as like Saint Drogo was. But so Providence, Rhode Island has this awesome history just steeped in just like weirdo art and music. And in the late 90s, this kind of this warehouse, well, even a little bit before that too, I'd say maybe like early 90s, this weird like artsy warehouse scene developed where all these artists were just living in these big warehouse spaces for like super cheap. And a lot of these spaces were kind of money laundering schemes for the mafia and like rich developers. So like they weren't really paying attention or cared as to like what was going on in these places. So that this kind of like harbored this cool scene where like there was just art exhibits and shows of just some really fucking killer bands and artists like all of the time. Like I moved here from Vermont in 2003 just to be a part of that scene. Like we just came to check it out, and there was like 7 shows that night within like this complex warehouses, and there was like all good bands and any kind of like genre you can imagine. But so the movie's about that arena of Providence in 2006, and we had this place called Fort Thunder that was kind of like the hub of like the genesis of this warehouse scene. So we have like a version of that, and it's 2006. So the main character in the band is like a noise rock. In the movie, is a noise rock band. So there's 4 of them, and then there's another side plot with the mafia, and then a giant Lovecraftian creature that lives in the basement of one of these warehouses. But it's it's gonna be pretty absurd. It's definitely more of like a horror comedy at this point. I guess it's kind of like I guess Little Shop of Horrors meets like The Green Room, I guess, in a weird way.
You sold me.
Joe Castro's back on doing special effects. Brian Pollan's helping us with some special effects. Our friend Katron, she's this awesome set designer and artist that lives in Salem, Mass. She used to work for Guar, so she built our creatures. So we have this massive creature. It's like, luckily it doesn't move. I mean, it has like parts of it that move, but it's like probably like 12 feet tall, like 18 feet wide, and it has all kinds of weird appendages and parts. So it should be fun. We're at like the 60% mark, so we're slowly creeping up on wrapping it.
That's awesome. Congratulations. That's a ton of work. So to be 60% done, that's crazy.
Yeah. So like once like so we're at 60% now. I think like once the weather gets warm, most of the stuff left is all the special effects stuff, and it's pretty special effects heavy. So there's gonna be a lot of that to do, which and that's one thing Monster Makeup promises is like we always will have like practical effects and lots of them, and it'll be gross. So we're trying to maintain that mission statement.
What do you feel comfortable when it comes to doing your movies with practical to special effects in the sense of digital? Like, I mean, do you kind of try to make sure it's like 50-50 or like 60-40? Like, I mean, what is your feel comfortable level, I guess?
Yeah. So in Death Drop Gorgeous, all that was practical. That was 100% practical. Saint Drogo, I would say it's probably like 85, actually more than probably 90% practical. We did a little bit of composite work. There's a scene when I don't want to give anything away at the end where someone gets killed pretty brutally, and like the scene with the eyes
like I love your murder sets. Go on.
So there's some composite stuff there where like they recorded some eyes to attach to something that but yeah, so I think like there's a healthy marriage between like compositing and some digital stuff and prosthetic too. I think like, have you guys ever seen Laid to Rest?
Yeah,
I haven't.
So like it's a special effects team with I think it's a husband and wife, and they were like about like a 60 practical 40 like computer, and like they did composite stuff, and those special effects look so fucking good. So it's like having that marriage of like both things working together can definitely make some good looking gore.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I also want to give a special shout out to Hollow Lake, which is a project you're in also. Very excited for that because also you're an actor. Brandon, please, save jobs for some of us. You're like AI, taking everything. But you're in a movie from our mutual friend Troy Escamilla, who actually these lads know him as well. We met in Houston.
Yeah.
And
so I'm hoping to see that this year. I don't know if it's coming out this year or not, but Hollow Lake, right? Hollow Lake.
Yeah, I'm like 99% positive it's coming out this year. I think the final edit I think is done, and I know it's been submitted to festivals, so I'm assuming it'll be out like he's doing the festival stuff maybe like end of the year, like probably about fall.
Yeah. So super exciting. So you can keep an eye out for Hollow Lake, and you can see Brandon in that. But with that, I highly recommend you guys follow Brandon on everything, because also if you want to watch a movie that you're like, I want to watch something I haven't seen before. I want to watch something that like wasn't, blasted all over the internet of, being a top horror film. Look at his recommended movies or his top 10 from last year, and you'll be like, I have never heard of like 4 of them. And I love that because back when I was a wee lad, we're all similar age except for Lance. We would just, Fangoria was always telling us about movies that were coming out. You just go to Blockbuster every Tuesday and see movies that you've never heard of to watch, and that's kind of lost. So Brandon is a very big supporter of the indie arts, so we should support him back. But Brandon, if you could just let our audience know where they can follow you on the TikTok, all that stuff, Instagram.
Yeah, BPS Horror on TikTok. On Instagram, it's Brandon_Perras_Sanchez. It's Perras. And then I don't even know what my Twitter is. Like, I don't know. I don't remember on Twitter as much anymore, but yeah, probably Instagram is probably your best bet if you're trying to contact me. Like you said earlier too, like I've lucked out with my movie team and myself have lucked out with like people showing us the ropes with film and with writing and stuff too. So like I really don't mind answering questions or helping. I mean, I'm not like a fucking professional, but like I could definitely like give people like some tips and tricks of like how we got stuff edited, or like, you know, people that can help you with certain things. So I just want to pass down the knowledge because I just want to see more horror. So
do you do that? Like, I mean, do you do classes or anything like that, or give like kind of like I guess consultationals like to people? Like, I mean,
I don't do any classes, but I'm down to definitely like answer questions or help people with you know, whatever they're working on too. I feel like it's just a, you know, I was lucky, and if I didn't have those people help me out, then you know, I don't want people to be in the position where I was at, was like struggling. I'm like, what the fuck, what do I do? And then you know, fucked out. So I do want to help people along with that. So because we need more, I'd love to see more horror out there.
oh yeah, Lord Kaufman style.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, as far as publishing goes, who publishes your books? I was on your website just now looking to see, or do you publish yourself?
I just self-publish.
Okay.
I might try to get the next one published, but it just sounds like a lot.
Well, yeah, it's a whole process because I wrote a book, but I used Amazon because I was like so like annoyed, you know what I mean? So I was just like, fuck it, let me just put it out and see what happens, see what sticks. But it's, you know, it's not easy. So I was just like, I always wonder how people like just do, you know, the whole publishing thing, or if you actually find a publisher. And do people, especially now, I feel like with AI, I don't know how we can tell what's real anymore or what's not. So I think
There's a
that
couple of tools that AI usually does. You'd have to, if you were like, hey, write a whole book about this, there's a couple of tells you could see where AI usually does the same thing. But
yeah.
you know, it's hard to
Yeah.
tell.
Well, yeah, but Brandon, thank you for that, because I was like, I'm wondering who's published, because I love the artwork. I just love the look of your, you know, of the novels and everything like that. And I know that it's not easy. So I think it's so cool that you do all that. And amazing movies, by the way, everyone. So make sure you give him a follow. And I found your X account or Twitter. It's
nice.
It's Brandon _ Paris. So if anybody needed to know.
Oh, actually, before I have a question just because of our last author. Have you ever thought about doing audiobooks? Because they did something like that.
So I have audiobooks for my first two, so I'm working on one for the third. But the third one should be out soon.
Nice.
Oh, good. Lance can listen. Yay.
Yeah. Lance is trying to weasel his way in to narrate your next audiobook. But yes, so thank you again, Brandon, for being here. You are one of my favorite people in the horror community. So I look forward to seeing you rise and your success and books and movies and everything. I am shameless to be like, yes, lift up my friends because I will ride his coattail. Now, before we do end it, I just wanted to ask, because we are going to review Slugs.
Yeah.
Anything you'd like to say about Slugs before we get into it?
I said, make yourself a nice big bowl of like spaghetti and meatballs to eat while you're watching it. Or
okay. I actually did have to stop eating when I was watching.
It's fucking gross. That movie's disgusting.
Yes.
When I was a kid, like I couldn't eat lettuce for the longest time because of that movie.
Oh yeah, because they're spitting it out.
Salad. I was like, oh god, the slugs in it.
I looked like a salad with olives in it, and I was like, ew. But again, Brandon, thank you so much. 2026 seems like you're gonna have a lot of stuff coming out, so I'm very excited to see what's gonna happen.
I would love to have you back sometime to talk about any of it. So anytime, you know. Yeah.
When Queen of the Rats starts to like, when you're about to do your the interview circuit, you can come by and promote it.
Sure. I'm gonna check out the Death Drop Gorgeous episode too. I'm sure the crew would like to hear that too. So.
Oh my god, yes, send it to him. It's a good one. We don't say anything bad. We don't. Yeah.
Remember, this is before you guys.
There's a lot of praise on the penis scene. So
well, it's funny, like we just never thought that the movie's gonna turn into anything. We're like, we just did it for fun. We're like, this was just end up on like YouTube, be like a YouTube classic, and then it like we randomly messaged Shudder and they responded. I was like, I did not think that was gonna happen at all. We're like, okay.
Oh, yeah,
oh my god, it's so good. We had so much fun with it. It was because Mikey like suggested it, and I was like, yeah, because we did a little. It was just like a me and him. Like, what did we call ourselves? It was our little subsidiary.
Oh, call your ghoul friends.
Call your ghoul friends. Yeah. So that was me and Mikey, and then Lance came. But anyway, but we had a good time though. Yes. And it's a great movie. So thank you.
It's fun.
Alrighty, well, thank you, Brandon.
All right, bye.
Yeah, have fun with Slugs tonight.
Oh yeah.
Hey everyone, it's Brandon Perras Sanchez, the author of The White Bishop, Recessive Nature, and To Break a Pale Yoke, and the Oscar-nominated Death Drop Gorgeous, and films like Saint Drogo. If you're listening to the Slashers podcast, you're probably a hot person with no problems, and just keep on with it.
Very sweet. Yes, thank you.
Love him. And also, I don't know if y'all have
Love
realized,
him.
but after the episodes are done, I include like our rambling after the episode with all of the previous ones we've done. Like I'll
Yeah.
end the interview around like a 15-minute mark, and then I just play the rest of it at the end. But anyway,
Yeah, no,
That's
yeah.
cool.
I like that because it's fun.
yeah.
And I usually listen to it, our episodes when I'm at the gym in the morning. So
Uh-huh.
it gives me a good laugh. It makes me happy. So
Oh.
yay.
Um, well,
Okay.
welcome back from the break, everybody. Thank you again to podcast friend Brandon Perras Sanchez or bpshorror.com. And like I said before, what he recommended we covered, even though he didn't remember, is Slugs. It is a 1988 film rated R about what you may ask, killer slugs on a rampage in a rural community. It is directed by Juan Piquer-Simon, written by Ron Gatman, Sean Hudson, and Jose Antonio Escriva. Sean Hudson is the one that actually wrote the novel because I did read it. Stars Michael Garfield Levine, Kim Terry, and Philip McHale. You can find this movie on Tubi if you so desire. Give it a watch. It's, let's see how long it is. It's not very long. An hour and 29 minutes. So this is your classic 80s monster movie. We have sex. We have animatronics. We have unrealistic things killing people when you're like, why don't you just run? So with that being said, this is the third week of our novel January. And in this film, does it say where it takes place? I don't think so.
Oh, I think it,
Is it in Europe?
No.
It's a small.
I,
Yeah, that's all I know. It's a
Yeah,
very small town.
it's a
They like
small
parties
town.
in the woods.
no, I think they
They
say
like to
it,
party
but
in the woods.
Well, I was also confused. I didn't know if it was in Europe. Something made me feel like this was a European novel,
Only
essentially.
because that one guy had the French wife, remember? The sewer guy.
well, no, but a lot of it's dubbed because some of the actors
Oh yeah.
are not speaking English. Um, so yeah, that's what I was like. I was trying to look for that today, but I didn't have time when I was doing my research. So when you watch the film, it feels like the most of it is dubbed, and part of the reason is because it is filmed in Spain and in I think New York
Okay,
and
that
Lyons, New York.
explains because sometimes I would catch their mouth when I was like, oh, maybe it was just like a weird copy. But no, I guess it was dubbed.
So similar to like how Zombie is in some of those other films, like some of the actors who don't speak English, like they're just speaking whatever, and I guess they dub over it later. Is what that was like an 80s thing. I don't know why people I think they did in the 70s too.
Probably cheaper.
So one of the actors was like Argentinian and he just said his lines and then they dubbed over him. So like you could tell, but like some of the actors were speaking English but most of the film was dubbed anyway. I don't know why, because if they were still speaking, I don't know. I don't know what happened, but I'm sure that somebody fucked up the sound, I think. And they're like, we can't afford we can't afford to reshoot it, so
We
we'll just
love
dub
that.
over.
Yeah, and it's weird because on Wikipedia it's listed as a 1988 English language Spanish horror film. So
Mm.
it's
Yeah.
an English language Spanish film.
The only
So
Spanish part it was the cooks, wasn't it? The
is
Italian
that
restaurant.
that's well, Italian is not Spanish, but okay
Right,
then.
I know. What I'm saying is, that's the only time somebody was like trying to act like they were speaking some other language.
No, I think what they mean is it's an English film from Spain.
Yeah, like they're all speaking English or for the most part trying to anyway. But so that's the only thing I didn't care for about them because I mean I surprisingly loved it. So that was but having that like they partially filmed it in Spain and then the United States and I think somewhere like in Lyons, New York, like a lot of it like the interior shots were. So
Yeah,
Like upstate New York.
I guess that's upstate. I don't know where the
wherever
hell. I
line.
mean, if it's not New York City, then it's somewhere in the sticks.
To the Jersey or upstate New York. That's all there is.
Let's look and see where that is.
Well, while she looks, I also wanted to announce that the score was performed by the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra, which I thought was quite classic for this film.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I would have never guessed that one. I'm sorry.
And you know what? I'm surprised I've never seen it because, I mean, it's a cheesy, I guess you would, it's a creature feature and it's cheesy, but everything's done well.
Yeah.
My biggest issue I have with the whole movie is just that these slugs are slow and I don't understand what's going on with people being attacked by these slow slugs. Because in the book, they do a little bit of explaining that the slugs are a little faster and they swim. But in the movie, they're using just regular. I don't know what kind of slugs they are. I'm not a slug expert. I'm in Texas. We have the slugs that look like they belong in a snail but don't have a back. And then we have these black slugs that have an orange belly, which apparently are not, they're invasive because they're weird. They don't look like the black slugs in this movie. Again, it looks like something that would be a snail without the shell. These slugs I have never seen in nature. They look like, you know what they look like?
They're
Have you ever had
Italian slugs.
they look like a banana slug. You know what that is?
No.
You're the creature feature like aficionado here, sir.
I think you mean animal. Lance.
I
You're so crazy. I almost called you Adam. A banana slug is just a fat slug. They're yellow though, but they're not black. The ones that are in this movie are black. But they're so icky. What is it about slugs that gives us the heebie-jeebies? And actually, funny fact in the book, when the I think it's the health inspector is like knows what's going on, is like skeptical about the slugs. He like there's a really tense moment where he like stops. He's like, oh, he thinks he sees one in the street, but it's a dog shit.
Well, I'm looking now. Yeah, I'm looking now, and it looks like the slugs they used in the film look like Spanish slugs.
Oh, I was right.
That makes sense. You said it's
So, then they have the round back slugs, which also look like the ones in the film. I'm looking at the banana slug. First of all, slugs are nasty. Like anytime it rains, it's really nasty. Like, and this is terrible. When I was growing up in Florida, if it would rain, we had a retention pond behind our old apartment, and the slugs would all come up and they'd be in the hallways, and my dad would go get the salt.
You know
And
what?
That's
I
fucked
was
up.
wondering why didn't they just throw salt on these things?
See,
That's what I said.
And just get a salt truck and just assault the slugs. But it was funny because I ordered. What was that? The disrespect. Anyways, anyways, why don't you gain some more points in the Gym Raps app because you're
damn.
behind.
Oh my God.
If only laughing, and bitching earned points, she'd be in the lead. But anyways, so I don't know why that triggered me so much. But I was reading it and I was eating my breakfast taco that I ordered. And when I was reading it, a salt packet fell out of the bag onto my lap. And I was like, nah, that's funny. And that's when I was like, why don't they just put salt on the slugs? But I don't remember if here's the thing. The movie and the book are very, very similar, down to like the death scenes. The book had a little bit more, of course, because it's a book, it's longer. There was a really intense scene where a boy, his mom, he was like, this is a long time ago when you could leave your autistic son outside. But she left him outside, and he was autistic. I'm not being offensive. The book says that it said a little bit of a term we don't use anymore. But yeah.
Also, too, I think that the novel is translated from Spanish to everyone.
Oh, maybe.
That's
But,
what I was reading, but I don't know for sure. But continue,
maybe.
Mikey, sorry.
But yeah, so he's outside, and so she buys him a bunny because the bunny keeps him occupied, and he literally can sit outside next to the bunny pen all day and just watch the bunny. So she has to go to the store or something, and she's down the street, so it's gonna take her 5 minutes. She goes, she's like, I have to run to the store, you'll be okay. He's like, yeah. So she leaves, and when she leaves, the bunny gets fucked up by the slugs. Luckily, he's fine, but like the movie, it's kind of silly, like ha 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 he he he. The book, when you're reading how the slugs attack people, it's really gross. And also, Sean Hudson, are you still alive? I don't want to speak ill of the dead. But I think
No,
he's
he's
still alive.
68. I'm
Yeah.
looking at him right now.
You are a horny man, sir. And but you know what? This is also kind of like a pulpy book. Like it to me, it's like a almost like a what's the word? Movies, like movies where there's just a bunch of sex and monsters and whatever, whatever. That's how, and there was sex in the movie too, but like the book, I don't know what the age of consent is over there, but they're talking about like 17-year-olds dating like 30-year-olds and a 16-year-old dating a whatever-year-old. And I'm like, I don't think that's a
In
thing.
Europe, it's basically like Kentucky.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's a British novelist in the horror and crime genre. He does have various pen names, but he's written over 30, at least 30 novels.
Yeah.
Um,
Um,
he wrote the UK film novelization of The Terminator.
oh, great. Let's read it. Well, how does that need to be translated? The UK's language is English. But anyways,
Yeah, so I don't think it was, I don't know what the hell I was reading,
instead
but
of coffee, they drank tea.
he
That's
wrote Spawn, he wrote Relics. So a lot of his uh, books got adapted into films.
he wrote Relic from the
He wrote
90s.
Relics, yeah. 1986, that the book came out, so you can read that, Mikey. I didn't know that was based on a book.
Are you sure? Because Relic is just the Relic. Is it called Relics?
It's called Relics. I guess maybe that's different.
Yeah.
The plural is probably the difference.
Yeah.
Um, but there's a lot of sex, but I was like, this is fun. Because honestly, like the book, I would give maybe like a 2.5 out of 5 star. This is something you definitely want to watch, not so much read. Because aside from like the death scenes, the characters like, man, there's a lot of them, and you kind of just don't really.
What did you think about the moment where the one girl falls off the bed? And it's like it almost like one of those things like when you pretended like there's lava on the ground. That's what I thought that whole death scene was. She's like, I'm falling, I can't get up. And then she's like trying to put her hand up. She's like calling his name.
So they do explain in the movie that the saliva or the secretion from the slugs like paralyzes you.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I
I don't think I caught
think
that.
they,
And
well, the little British guy who looks very similar to the author.
the museum caretaker or whatever.
The no, the biology teacher or whatever.
His name is, oh fuck, I think it's like Philo or something. Because the names are the same in the book too. Because there's a little joke they make about like it's called Philocide because he made the poison or whatever. Um,
You mean the thing that
That's
blows up
funny.
when it touches water in the
yeah.
sewers, which other than using salt, folks, by the way. So
Well,
instead
I
of
want to say that they said okay, so they said the typical pesticides don't work on these slugs. So I'm thinking that included salt. I don't know.
Mm.
Maybe this was before we were fucked up and started putting salt on slugs. Because I only done it once, and after that time, I felt really bad, and I didn't know what I was gonna do. Someone told me to do it, and I was like, "Ooh, that
No,
just
my
seems
dad
like a
got
killer."
excited and he was like, "Here, look at this." And it was like the
No,
fattest slug I've ever seen and just
oh,
watched it deteriorate. And
poor
I'm like,
baby. Yeah,
to basically put acid on that poor thing and just
yeah,
make
but
it watch it.
but they are, I mean, not that they are all invasive, like, as Mikey was saying, but they do fuck up your garden and your
yeah. They even
plants
say
and
in the
stuff.
in the in the movie that's why they're all in your garden because they're gonna eat everything. But
Yeah.
the part you're talking about, Lance. So there is and just if you haven't seen this movie, I'm not gonna watch this movie, folks. Small town. It starts off with a gardener putting a glove on, and the slug bites him. And it doesn't make sense in the movie because you're like, just take the fucking glove off. But it makes more sense in the novel, and it's actually a lot grosser. But they tried to include everything. But he gets the shears to try to cut. It looks like
Yeah,
he's trying to cut the glove off, but in the book, he's trying to cut his arm off because it's just so excruciating, and it describes him like chomping down, hitting the bone. He keeps trying to get through the bone, but he can't, and it's really nasty. But anyway, so these slugs are invading this small town. They're killing people, they're eating people, they dissolve, they're like piranhas basically. Like they can just smell like just take off all your flesh really quickly. And they have these little nasty mouths. But the part you're talking about is a teenage girl and her boyfriend, and like the book goes into their backstory of why the dad hates the boy, and like they actually do a really good job of building those characters just so they can die shortly after. Um, but it's he describes how like the dad would be so surprised if he knew that his daughter was who he thought was so innocent was such like a nymph, basically. And she falls off the bed, just like everything happens, just like the way it happened in the movie. Um, and it just describes that she just kind of like gives up her will to fight, and she's just laying there like moaning with all these slugs all over her. Then they go inside of her, and that happens quite a bit. And yeah,
This just became like demonology of Japanese
they could have gone farther with the movie, is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Maybe not with her because she was, I think, a high school student. But yeah, it's pretty grody. And then at the end, in the sewer, the slugs are attacking. I forget what this guy's name is, but like it's going up his ass, the tender flesh of his rectum, um, stuff like that. So I was a fan.
A lot of violation. A lot of violation. It seems the theme of this.
Mhm.
But yeah, one of the De Laurentiis is a producer. So one of Jada De Laurentiis's relatives, because they have well, I mean, I assume
The
that
chef.
yeah. So
They could have
I
made
know
escargot for the premiere.
her like grandparents or uncles of the De Laurentiis family, like they're like big movie producers, which is probably why she ended with her show. But
Oh, that's cool.
yeah. Oh no, yeah, no. So it's like her aunt, I think. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. So if you guys were wondering about that, that's Giada De Laurentiis's aunt is the producer of this film. So there you go. Now make sure you go eat some spaghetti and
Yeah.
Spaghetti and meatballs. Let's
Well,
get it in
speaking
there.
of, one thing that I thought was cool, because it's, you just think about slugs, you think about slugs eating people. I don't know if this is all true, but it seems true. And it seems like, okay, so like more thought was put behind this movie than just slugs eating people, because as we insinuated before when we were talking to Brandon, there's a part where a woman is making her husband a salad. Also, one of my critiques of the movie, everyone is so fucking miserable. In the book, they at least like each other and they're nice. In the movie, everyone is just a crotchety old person. Not even old, but like they're just upset about something.
Even the young people.
Yeah, they have bad attitudes and
oh my God,
whatever.
they had like an assault scene at
Oh
the end of this movie. My God.
And the victim gets killed.
I know.
It's so fucked up. Actually, now that I
Like
think about
what? I mean I first of all this movie I was reading an article and I was thinking the same thing like this movie had no business being as good as it is, right? Because it's
Yeah.
like you're pleasantly surprised by it, but the author actually hated it.
Oh,
it.
good.
I don't know if you've read it. Yeah, he said that this was one of his biggest embarrassments. And that's why he didn't want any of his other novels to be adapted into films after this. Except now he says it's a guilty pleasure of his and he does like it now. So at the time he hated it.
It's just so weird because it's almost literally just like the book, except you don't
Yeah.
hear everybody's internal monologue. I was surprised how close it was to the book, but whatever. It's up to him. We'll bring him on and ask him.
But that's why like when you said that I'm shocked by that because I think maybe it's the hokiness like there are it's a little hokey at times. And
Yeah,
I don't know because they classify this as a horror comedy. I don't think it's a horror comedy.
I don't see the comedy.
I mean,
Some of
Um,
the parts you
bad
laugh
jokes.
at because it's
well,
kind of silly, but it's
campy, yeah.
not. Yeah, it's a little campy. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, it's about killer slugs. It has to be, there's some camp inherently involved.
So, what's your favorite kills? Like, which one did you like the most out of all of them?
I'd probably say the girl on the floor, but it might be because I know like the backstory of it is just
Right,
really,
right.
it's really fucked up to me. Just what's
Hmm.
happening.
Aid?
I don't know. Probably the guy in the restaurant.
Yeah,
That was pretty good. I kind of like, honestly, even though I think it's funny the fact that they're in the sewers and whatnot, and he gets shot out from the water. You figured he would know, since that's his thing, is being in the sewer, that there was water behind that, and he should know that he should watch out for that. The scene where he's like in the water, like it was like looked very cinematic. Like it was really kind of cool the way they did it with him and his slicker and everything like that. I thought that was kind of cool. And then I thought it was just funny the fact that the guy all of a sudden jumps on that kind of like that pole railing that's above the water and kind of tries to do like a whole acrobatic, like to try to save him. I thought that was interesting, but his death scene in that was kind of fun and a little eccentric.
I think he's the one that gets the slug up his ass in the book. But
I'm sure it is. I'm definitely sure that's exactly where it was.
yeah. Um,
Hmm.
but speaking of the guy in the restaurant, so the reason why I said before Lance interrupted me, that the story had like more thought behind it is because the woman's making dinner for her husband, and she's cutting up a slug, which is really nasty because it looks like black olives, because they don't see it. She feeds it to the husband, and it starts like giving the husband like gastric pains, and he just has like some sort of stomach issue going on, and it lasts a while. It lasts a couple of days, and he has like a convulsion seizure type thing in the restaurant, and these little worms start coming out of his face. And when I first heard that in the book, because it happens in the book, and also when I saw it in the movie, I mean, I already knew because I read the book, but at first I was like, that's not a slug, that's a worm. I was like, now we're just getting a little too anything that looks like a worm is going to be considered a slug. But nay, nay. These little things are actually what are they called? Not pests,
Parasites.
parasites that live in the blood of slugs that actually infect things that eat slugs, possibly humans. And again, I didn't fact check this, but I was like, oh, that's cool for the movie,
Ugh,
not like the real.
yeah. No, I know, but I mean, the whole thing is disgusting. So if you like a good creature feature, I think they did a really good job with this one.
Yeah.
Because it's partly body horror too, because they're coming out of him.
Yeah. And then like, was it the girl on the floor when like they start eating her so bad her eyes just completely gone, her sockets
That one
exposed? Like,
side face. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
yeah, like it's pretty intense. And I hate to say that the movie was better than the book. Sorry, author. Um, but I just that's not the kind of book that I like reading. Only because even though the book the characters were more likable in the book, um, it's just not an interesting book except when people are dying.
Mm.
But and I
You
can't
wonder,
think of no.
oh, sorry. I was gonna say, I wonder if that gerbil or the hamster really, because like that was a pretty crazy little scene where it's killing it, but like it kind of looked like just poor thing was actually getting murdered or something. Did you
Oh, the
see?
actual animal.
Yeah,
Yeah, before animal rights were a thing.
yeah. I mean, and especially if you're in a
Um,
different country, Jesus.
Well,
I
we can hope
know.
that it wasn't.
Yeah.
Um, But yeah, I mean, there's not really much to say about this movie. It's slugs killing people, and then the parasites within the slugs also getting their revenge. But overall, I would give the book a 2.5 out of 5, and I would give the movie about a 3 out of 5, just because like it's something I visually entertain me. But
Hmm.
what about you guys?
I would say like 3.5, maybe 4. I enjoyed it. I like the characters. I like the bitchy. I love the drunk lady that that fed the slug to her
The
husband.
one that's gonna go to
She
a meeting soon.
yeah, I know. She didn't die, by the way, so there you go.
Aid
Thanks,
only
Rob.
But
likes her because it's basically aid.
it's not me.
Got
Lance.
the drink on.
What about you, Lance?
No, I thought the practical was pretty cool. I mean, honestly, probably like a 3.5 because it's just it hits the marks for certain stuff like this, especially a creature feature. I mean, obviously, there's some like cheesy moments where it's hard to believe, and especially if you read the book, you know those things. But I don't think I caught the whole thing about the actual saliva from the actual slugs paralyzed them or not. So I might have missed that
Wow.
part. But the scenes for the kill scenes for those things are pretty awesome. I mean, pretty much every one of them was pretty nice. Even the farmer one where at the end where they just had the blood just like blows through the fucking head out of nowhere just to show a scene of it happening. So I mean, it hits all the marks with all the blood for me as usual. Like I love that. So I mean, it was a nice movie that I've always seen, but I just never took the chance to go watch it. So yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, I've always seen the cover and I've never really took the interest of it, but I'm glad you watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good
Um,
one, everybody. So if you haven't seen it, for 1988, like, for something that's not as like super popular, I think it hit the mark. I mean, it's a good 80s movie, so.
Yeah, good 80s monster movie with lots of well, a medium amount of boobs. So that's why Lance is so happy today, y'all.
I know.
I got a couple sets. That's all I
A
need.
couple sets. There
Well,
you
one
go.
set. One set.
Anyways, well, folks, that's it for this week's Slashers podcast. Please exit the podcast in a calm and spooky fashion. If you want to see our faces and see how Aid treats us live, watch our video cast at youtube.com/slasherspodcast. If you need more horror and nerd chaos in your life, slice deeper with the Comic Chop, our monthly deep dive focus with Joe from Much Ado About Nerding, spinning up soon. Join the cult at patreon.com/slasherspod for exclusive episodes, bonus content, and cursed perks. That's his favorite term. Join the cult. Oh, I did that. Rock your support at slasherspod.redbubble.com because nothing gets you laid faster than Slashers swagger. Haunt us on Instagram. You can follow SlashersPod at SlashersPod for the official page, or at Mutant Goons from Beyond for the gang and the community and the ha-ha-has, the hee-hee-hees. Scream at us directly. You can you can chat with Aid at pathologicallyade, me at Southern Fried Mikey, or Lance at Zombie vs Hate. A huge thanks to our Bloodbound Patreon members: Josh Gunn, Dinosaurs Will Always Be Awesome, Lorene Ellis, Kevin Leamy, Vladimir Luis, Leslie Thurman, Cam, Gale, and Press Eject. Thanks for listening. Stay spooky. Again, a huge thank you to Brandon Perras Sanchez. Please go support him. He deserves all of our love. And you can find him again at bpshorror.com or bps on Instagram. That's all we have for today. We'll be back next week with maybe something a little more sexy, but a little less horror. Goodbye, my friends.
Goodbye.
Just die.
Oh, strange.
Alrighty. Well.
And yeah.
Perfect. A hot Rhode Island girl is what I am.
That was beautiful. Thank you,
Brandon.
That's what I am.
I was, when you were mentioning bands earlier, I was like, as much as I love music, do not mention any names, because Lance will all of a sudden perk up and start talking about music, and that's a whole nother podcast.
That'll be a whole nother hour.
Yeah, because I know Brandon's very big into music. So is Lance, and I didn't want to mention that until we were ending. So
I'm like, ooh.
No. With my music friends, my boyfriend wants to fucking kill me every time, so I'll just go on about music for hours. Yeah, so I totally get it.
Yeah.
Every time we go like on vacation, I'll find a record store and he just rolls his eyes.
He leaves you there for babysitting.
I know. Lance, we found your friend.
Yeah.
You'd be there for hours, bro. I was like, it's just easy. Like, I just grabbed like a because I'm trying to like get my little ska section like bigger, because I feel like I just don't have that many vinyl for ska. And like metal's fine, you know what I mean? Old classic music, punk and whatnot. But then you get into like the hardcore and like old school like hardcore stuff, like two-step stuff, and I'm like, oh.
Lance, you're doing it again, Lance. But anyways, well, if you have a Rhode Island premiere for Queen of the Rats, let us know. Maybe we'll take a trip up there.
Oh, that'd be so fun.
I've always wanted to go up there, so it's an excuse.
Where are you guys located again? Like the
best places in the United States. They're in Florida, and I'm in Texas.
Oh, that's right. I knew that.
We're in the favorite states.
Yeah, the states that don't cause any issues.
No problems at all.
Enemies everywhere.
There's some parts of Texas I like, though, in Florida too. My old band, we used to tour and stuff. Like, we used to play in Denton, Texas. Denton's fucking awesome. That's a weird little place. All the music coming out of there is really crazy, and it's fun.
I go to Orlando to visit them, and Lance takes me to all these, like, it's actually like a really cool place, Orlando specifically, for like music and stuff. So it's, there's blue dots in these red messes.
Yeah, it's little blue area that we have.
Yeah. If you're ever down here with your partner, man, let me know. Like, we'll go some badass shows around here. There's an awesome metal place. There's an awesome punk place. I mean, like, we have everything for anything, kind of music wise. Like, it's just like the little scene places, and then we have our own little CBGBs, which is called Uncle Lou's.
Nice. Well, I'd love to, because St. Petersburg's got a good scene going on right now too. A lot of crazy shit coming out there too, but it's fun.
We just had a metal fest, and the fest that I played not that long ago. But like, there was like a lot of things going on this weekend.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Send me a link to your band. You should send me a link to your book too.
Oh yeah, definitely. And we'll definitely keep in touch because I'm super excited about all the new projects.
What am I
sending
gonna
out,
send?
So
I'm just kidding.
I don't know. Mikey
It's a
said
new-
you enough, I'm sure.
He's like, hey, Mikey, I'm blocking you. Talk to
How do
me
you
enough.
like your calves? Mm.
Oh God, he doesn't need that link.
Oh my God.
But anywho,